No parent wants to admit or say there's something not right, my child is not perfect. But my husband and I both, we just knew there was a problem. We didn't know what it was, we didn't know where to go with it. So at probably a 15-month checkup maybe, our pediatrician gave us the information for the early intervention program. And we had no idea what the program was about. I decided to give it a shot, and we called.
The day that we had the initial evaluation with Caroline and her mom, Morgan was very, what I feel, maybe hopeless. Like she didn't know what to do, didn't know where to turn to, had exhausted all of her resources, and she really had no knowledge of what early intervention was. And when the pediatrician gave her the information to contact early intervention, I think she was very skeptical about what we could do to help her.
The biggest problem Caroline had was she could not communicate. We had no idea what her problem was, whether it was hearing, a behavior issue, whether there was something deeper. When I got in touch with Brandy, she told me, all the different kinds of therapies that they had, and we went for an evaluation at the Homewood office, and Caroline was at her worst that day, and Brandy got to see exactly what my concerns were.
The day of the initial evaluation, I tried to, let Morgan know that we were going to work through this together, work through it as a team, and we did do that. One of the initial things that we also did with Caroline was make a referral to CRS to have a hearing evaluation done. So we had her hearing tested and all of that checked out.
I liked the fact that they came in and worked with myself and Caroline together. I observed all the therapies, in the comfort of our own home. Caroline was in her own environment. She wasn't threatened.
When the therapist would come through the door, she would immediately go sit down in the living room, like a student waiting. And we were just really surprised with that degree of communication they had. And I would watch and later on try to do some of the same things that the therapist done. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But she always seemed to get results.
I picked up on things that I could do. Instead of, being so stern with Caroline, I could use cues and tips that they were using, and it worked. When they weren't here, I would tell my husband, this is what I learned today with Caroline. This is what she tried, let's try it. And, it was amazing. It was amazing.
When Caroline walked into the room for this second evaluation, it was a completely different child. It was a child who was fully communicating with us, whereas before that was not even a thought in her mind. So definitely, in between 6 to 12 months, there was a lot of progress that Caroline had made, and I think, just has continued to make from that point forward.
It's almost like having a normal child again. She's working on it. She still has her moments, but she's just like, she's done a complete turn.
It was a new relationship that I had with my child. And instead of just frustration and tears on both sides, I could communicate with her. I knew what was going on. She could let me know how things were going, and I owe it to the therapist.
I want for my grandchildren the same things I want for my children, to be able to lead whatever a normal life is, not to be labeled and not to be held back because of their development, their social or their emotional developments.
Caroline's story has been important in the early intervention program because she came to us with just, communication delay, social emotional concerns, and these are things that a lot of people don't realize that we can help them work with. It can be any area of delay, and we can help you kind of work through those concerns and try to, reach those milestone goals. And her family has definitely done that.
I realize that she's progressed further than a lot of children can. But just to see a progression at all in a child that appears to have none, it was a miracle.
I did no research. I just made the call out of desperation, and it was an answered prayer. I have told so many about the program that if you have the slightest doubt or worry about your child, they have a service to help you.